Hi everybody, I'm Bill Dusty, and in this video we're going to take a look at the GoolRC T-36 Scorpion. Stay tuned. Hi guys. First off, I bought this thing about a month ago, this little T-36 here, and I gotta say it is one of the more enjoyable little quads that I've been able to fly around. And it's really pretty easy to fly considering it is basically a manual little quad. It doesn't have altitude hold, or of course it doesn't have GPS or anything like that. But it is really fun to fly, and it makes a great trainer because of the ducted fans. So you can fly it around your house and bang in the walls and everything, and it won't really damage anything. But we're going to take a look at what comes in the box. And then I'll just show you the quad itself and the features of the controller, and then we'll take it around for a spin. You'll notice that it has a remarkable resemblance to another little micro drone called the FuriBee F-36. So this, in fact, would be a clone of that. And I believe this one flies every bit as well as the F-36. And this thing cost me, I think, around $22. I bought it on Amazon Prime, and it did come with 2 batteries instead of 1. Okay, and you'll notice on the box here it's got return to home. That's basically the headless mode feature that allows you to, once it's in home headless mode, you put it in backward and it comes back to where it took off from. So it's not really a guided flight as something with GPS would be. But we'll look at some of the other features here. On 2.4 gigahertz. It's got eversion. I'm not quite sure what that is. It does have lights on it, which is nice. It's got nice bright white lights on the front, and I believe red on the back. We'll check on that. 6-axis gyro. This thing is very stable despite the fact that it doesn't have altitude hold. It does have headless mode, as I mentioned. Return to home, which is directly related to the headless. And then high and low speed switch. It does have 2 rates. It has 40% and 100%. And I'll show you how to change those on the controller. Okay, we'll take a look at what actually comes inside the box here. Of course, you have the drone itself. You have the controller. You have the charging cable, which is a USB cable with the adapter there that just goes right into the battery. Here's the battery. It came with 2 batteries, like I mentioned, right here. And you've got a complete set of extra propellers and a little screwdriver doohickey there inside the little package. So that's what came in the box. Oh yes, and also the instruction pamphlet, of which there were 4 copies of this, so one for, I believe, every language. Okay, and looking at the little quad itself here, it's got the 4 prop propellers here, inducted. This thing right here, if you look this thing up on the product page, this little top does come off. So I'll try to do that for you here. As you notice, it comes right off like that, and you can actually DIY this and put a camera on there if you wanted to. So you could actually fly around FPV with this. I'm not going to bother doing that, however. Just drop the canopy there. So you do have that option. And then on the back here, like I said, mine came with 2 batteries. And one was in it and one was elsewhere. I'll give you details on that. But you put the battery, slide the battery in just like this, and you go ahead and plug it in. There is no on-off switch for this, and so as soon as you plug it in, it's going to fire up, and then you start the controller. So there's that. Let's see. Let's take a look at the dimensions here. Looks like we got about 3 inches, and it's going to be about 3 inches square. So that's about that. 3 inches square and about an inch high. Okay, I will say one thing. If you're gonna take the props off for whatever reason, whether to clean the axle or to swap out a damaged prop, be careful how you take these things out. Now, these micro quads, they come with a little tool that will help you get it out. It might be a little tight there because of the duct here, so you might have to take it out by hand. If you do, be careful how you do that. I had a husband. I still have it. It's damaged now. But if you take it out, don't just pull on the propeller, because you're going to pull out the little motor there as well. And what I did with the husband is I pulled the motor out and I yanked the wires right off. So be careful of that. If you're gonna take the prop off and you don't have a tool for it, just grab the motor itself, not the plastic part, but the motor itself, and just give it a pry. Pry at it, and if you get it a little away from the base there, maybe take like a little screwdriver and wedge it off that way. Just be careful about how you do that to swap out the propellers. Okay, and here's the controller. The controller is pretty basic, and I believe this is also a clone of the F-36, the FuriBee F-36 quad controller. So the controls here, as you can see, it doesn't have altitude hold, so that is right there like that. Here's the on-off switch. This is your forward and reverse trim. This is your left and right trim. And this is not a trim. This is your rate switch. Okay, so remember I said you get two rates. You get 40% and 100%. And I'll show you that later. There's your usual left-right, and that's basically it with this controller. That's all it is. There's no flips or anything that comes. Sorry about that. There's no buttons, shoulder buttons, or anything like that. On the back here, there's a little screw. It takes 3 AAA batteries. When I first got this, as I mentioned, it came with it came with 2 batteries. That's how I bought it. But when I opened up the box and everything, I saw that there was only 1 battery. And I said, what the heck is going on? Where's the other battery? Well, they stored it inside here. So it was actually inside of this storage compartment here. So when I opened this up, I was greatly relieved to find the second battery. So there's the controller. And then, as I mentioned, here's the power cord, USB. I like to label. I have so many of these freaking things. I put little labels on them to remember which quad they're for. A lot of them are universal, but this one is not. It's unique to the T-36 because of the cap here. So I do label them. I also number my batteries if I have more than one kind for each drone. That way I can keep track of what's charged and what's not. And I just wanted to show you the instructions close up here. It came with like 4 of these pamphlets, and I believe it had pretty much every major language on the planet. And the English was no more important than any other language, so it was buried underneath the Chinese here. And I kind of panicked for a little bit because I couldn't find the English, but then I did find it. The English, of course, as you would expect, is very broken, so the instructions can be kind of hard to understand. I had a hard time trying to figure out the headless mode switch on this, because here's the instruction for that, and I'll read it to you what it says. At the touch of a button to return voyage push forward or backward direction rod into the head model. Oh, and I did want to mention real quick, this is a 3.7 volt, 150 megaamp hour battery, single cell, and it takes about 30 minutes to charge it, each one, and you get I think about a 4-minute flight time. There's about a 45-second LVC warning flash. The little quad will start flashing underneath. So just about 5 minutes, or just under 5 minutes per flight. Okay, and with that, let's take this little guy for a spin. Okay guys, we got the little guy on the floor here. I've got the controller. I'm going to turn on the controller. Okay, it binds automatically, so you don't have to do the up and down thing with the left joystick there. So it's automatically bound, and what we're going to do now is we're going to calibrate it by putting these to the left. You can see, I believe, the lights flashing on the quad itself. Okay, so with that, we're going to be good to go. Remember, this is your forward trim, backward trim, left and right, and this is going to be the rate switch, 40% and 100%. Okay, let's get started. All right, now as you can see, and get it up right here, it's really kind of nice. It's pretty stable. It's got that 6-axis stabilization there. This is really ideal for somebody who's just trying to learn how to fly a little quad without altitude hold or anything like that, because it's really easy to control. There's your forward, backward, left, right. I'm a little wheezy right now. I'm trying to. It's kind of hard to do video and fly at the same time. Okay, we're gonna do the yaw in 40% mode first. So we'll go up here, do the yaw. That's 40%. Okay, that will switch to 100%. It's gonna be a little quicker. It's gonna be a little dirtier in the air, but there's that. I'm in the 100% mode right now, and this thing is very responsive in the 100% mode. So it's probably a lot more fun outdoors than it is inside here in the confined spaces. But as you can see, it recovers well, and even if I did bash it into a wall or something, it's going to be perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, I've already bashed it into walls on several occasions. And as you can see, it's operating pretty darn good. So I'm going to go ahead right now, actually, I'm going to put it back in low mode. I got to learn to take my hand off of the throttle control to switch the rates and then maintain altitude at the same time. But hey, you know, I'm learning. There it is. And there, as you can see, the lights, it is a blue light on the back and a red light in the front, so I was wrong on the lights there. I fly so many of these freaking things, I forget which is which. But there's your red light in front. Oh. Come on down. Bring it down here. All right, and there you go. There's the flashing light right there. So it's time for it to land, and you can just put your hand right underneath it, cut the motor, and catch it. And there you go. Okay, and that's it for the GoolRC T-36 Scorpion. This little baby is fun to fly. I highly recommend it. It's great to fly indoors. You can fly it outdoors, but make sure there's no wind, because this is a little guy and he will get carried off into the hinterlands. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching it, and if you liked it, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you soon.